There are certain men who live differently. They don't fit into the usual boxes, and they don't follow the paths that others expect. These men are known as Sigma males. They move through the world with independence, silence, and focus. But what most people don't see is that every Sigma male is living two lives at once. On the surface, it may look like he's just a quiet man doing his own thing. But if you pay closer attention, you'll notice something deeper. The Sigma male carries a public life that everyone sees and a private life that almost no one understands. These two lives are not an act. They are both real. And together they shape who he is. The first life is the one the world interacts with. It's the version of him that shows up to work, social settings, or public places. It's how he operates in society, calm, controlled, often mysterious. People might see him as disciplined, focused, or hard to read. That's the outer layer. That's life number one. But then there's the second life. This is the one nobody sees. It's internal. It's where his thoughts live, where his real feelings exist, where his beliefs are formed. It's deep, spiritual, and sometimes even painful. This is where he fights his real battles. This is the life that shapes all of his decisions, even if he never talks about it. These two lives exist side by side. Not because he's hiding anything, but because this is how he's built. The Sigma male is not two-faced, he's two-layered. And understanding both lives is the key to understanding who he really is. In this video, we'll explore what those two lives look like, and then break down 6 clear reasons why he lives this way. Once you understand this, you'll never look at the Sigma male the same again. Life 1. The public life. The first life the Sigma male lives is the public one, the life others see and interact with. This is the version of him that walks through the world with a steady energy. He doesn't talk too much, but when he does, it's intentional. He doesn't chase attention, but somehow it finds him. He's the kind of man who blends in without disappearing. In public, the Sigma male often appears confident, calm, and in control. He knows how to handle himself. He can sit in a meeting and stay quiet, then speak one sentence that shifts the entire conversation. He doesn't need to dominate the room. His presence alone changes the energy. People might call him mysterious. Some might see him as antisocial. But the truth is, he's simply selective. He observes more than he speaks. He listens before he moves. This is not shyness, it's awareness. He reads people, reads situations, and calculates his steps. Every move is made with purpose. In his public life, the Sigma male usually keeps things clean and simple. He shows up, does what's needed, and keeps it moving. He doesn't play office politics. He avoids drama. He respects structure, but he won't blindly follow it. If a rule doesn't make sense, he won't fight it. He'll just find another way. His relationships in this life are often limited but solid. He may have a small circle, but it's strong. He values loyalty and honesty. He doesn't need to be everyone's friend, but if he chooses to connect with someone, it's real. People learn to respect his boundaries. They see that he won't fake anything, not conversation, not interest, not energy. The public life of the Sigma male also includes how he deals with pressure. He doesn't break down in front of people. He doesn't overreact. Even when things go wrong, he stays focused. People may not know what he's thinking, but they trust that he's not losing control. This makes him reliable in chaos. But this public version of him is only part of the picture. It's the mask that fits naturally, not a lie, but not the full truth either. It allows him to function in the world without giving too much away. He protects his energy by not exposing everything. This is how he moves safely through life, with presence but with protection. That's the first life. the life others know. But there's another life running beneath the surface, and it's just as real, maybe even more. Life. 2. The inner life. The second life the Sigma male lives is private. It's quiet, deep, and guarded. This is where his real thoughts live. This is where his purpose is shaped. It's not for public view. It's not for social media. It's not even something he always explains to the people closest to him. This is his inner world, and it's sacred. In this life, the Sigma male is constantly thinking. He reflects on every choice he's made. He analyzes where he's going, what he wants, and why things are the way they are. He doesn't just react to life, he studies it. He sees patterns. He notices signs. He searches for meaning in places most people ignore. This inner life is where his creativity lives. It's where his ideas are born, tested, and developed. It's where he connects with something bigger than himself, his intuition, his spiritual beliefs, his moral compass. He may not talk about it, but it drives everything he does. Here, the Sigma male also faces his struggles. He deals with pain in silence. He processes disappointment without looking for sympathy. When he fails, he doesn't make excuses. He studies the failure, breaks it down, and learns from it. This life is not easy, but it's honest. It's where his growth happens. Solitude is important in this second life. He needs time alone to hear his own voice. Too much noise throws him off. When things feel chaotic on the outside, he retreats into this space to reset. This is how he keeps his mind clear and his actions sharp. Without this time, he starts to lose balance. His inner life also keeps him grounded. No matter how much attention he gets or how well things go on the outside, he always checks in with himself. He asks hard questions. Am I being real? Am I aligned with my values? Am I moving with purpose? These moments of self-check are what keep him strong when others start to fall apart. Very few people are invited into this world. And those who are understand quickly that this life is serious. It's not open to games. It's not available to everyone. It's protected for a reason, because it's where the truth lives. This second life is why the Sigma male doesn't need to explain himself. He knows what's going on inside. He knows where he's headed. He doesn't need loud opinions when he has quiet clarity. And that's the power of living two lives. One for the world, one for the soul. Reason number 1, independence from the herd. The Sigma male doesn't follow the herd. That's not just a mindset, it's a built-in trait. He was never made to blend in or rely on the approval of the crowd. He thinks for himself, chooses his own path, and values freedom over comfort. This core drive is one of the main reasons why he lives two lives. In public, he might appear to go along with what's happening around him. He can attend the meetings, do the job, handle the small talk. But deep down, he's always holding on to his independence. He plays the game, but only when it serves a purpose. He's not interested in being accepted, he's interested in being real. This creates a natural split. He lives one life where he interacts with the world just enough to function. But the life that really matters to him happens on his own terms. That life is shaped by his own values, not social rules. He can appreciate society, but he doesn't depend on it. Independence also protects him. It allows him to move without asking for permission. When something doesn't feel right, he walks away. No drama, no fight, just silence. He doesn't owe anyone a show. This ability to detach is what keeps him sharp. It's why he avoids emotional traps that others fall into. Because he doesn't rely on the crowd, he also doesn't feel the pressure to explain himself. People may ask why he's so private, so selective, so hard to read. But he doesn't respond to pressure. He knows the moment he starts explaining his every move, he gives away control. His independence is more valuable than public comfort. Even in relationships, this trait shows. He can care deeply about people, but he doesn't need them to complete him. He's whole by himself. That doesn't mean he avoids love. It means he doesn't settle for anything that asks him to shrink. If someone understands his two lives, they're welcome. If not, he keeps moving. This reason alone explains why he builds a second life behind the scenes. It's not about hiding, it's about protecting what matters. Independence isn't just how he moves, it's who he is. And living two lives gives him the space to keep that independence alive without compromise. Reason number 2. Self-reliance versus social function. The Sigma male is built for self-reliance. He handles his own problems, manages his own time, and takes full responsibility for his life. But he also knows he has to move through a world that demands interaction. This creates a tension between being fully independent and needing to function within systems. That tension is another reason he lives two lives. In his private world, he relies on no one. He sets his own goals, corrects his own mistakes, and motivates himself. He doesn't wait for support or validation. He looks in the mirror and deals with what's real. This internal life is where his strength is built. But in the outside world, there are rules. There are systems, workplaces, people, and structures that expect interaction. The Sigma male knows how to navigate them. He knows how to show up, communicate, and get the job done. But he never fully trusts those systems. He knows they can change, collapse, or fail him. That's why his true foundation is internal. This divide creates the two lives. The first is practical. It's how he earns money, connects with society, and completes tasks. The second is personal. It's how he stays grounded, balanced, and focused. One is for survival. The other is for purpose. He also doesn't believe that help is guaranteed. While others might wait for things to be handed to them, the Sigma male moves early. He learns skills, builds tools, and prepares mentally. He'd rather be over-prepared in silence than caught off guard in public. This mindset grows in his private life and shows up in his public one. Self-reliance doesn't make him cold. It makes him precise. He knows how much energy to give and when to pull back. He respects time, both his and others. That's why people may think he's distant, but the truth is, he's focused. He sees where his presence is needed and where it's being wasted. Functioning in society is something he chooses, not something he's addicted to. If something no longer serves his growth, he adjusts or walks away. He doesn't fear starting over. That's the power of self-reliance. In a world where most people depend on others for direction, the Sigma male builds his own compass. And to do that, he must have a space where no one else is pulling the strings. That space becomes his second life, the life that keeps him honest, even when the world demands a performance. Reason number 3, visible role versus hidden growth. The world often judges people by what they see. Titles, achievements, and appearances are given more attention than depth, reflection, or inner growth. The Sigma male sees through that. He understands that what's visible isn't always real, and what's real isn't always visible. This awareness creates another reason for his two lives. In public, he may appear simple or predictable. He goes to work, handles his business, keeps things low-key. People may think they know him, but they don't see what's happening underneath. They don't see the growth he's working on every day, the mental battles, the quiet discipline, the spiritual questions he's asking. Growth for the Sigma male doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in private. He reads, studies, trains, reflects and heals in silence. He doesn't post updates. He doesn't announce breakthroughs. He doesn't need applause to grow, he needs space. And that space is created by separating his inner life from the world's expectations. Sometimes he outgrows people, jobs or situations, but doesn't say a word. He just shifts. He moves in a new direction quietly, without needing permission or understanding. This is how he protects his progress. Not everyone deserves to see the work. Not everyone would understand it. Even when he's winning, he keeps it simple. Because he knows growth isn't about looking successful, it's about becoming stronger. And real strength doesn't scream. It moves with calm. This also means he lives with patience. He knows inner change takes time. It can't be rushed. He allows himself to evolve, even if no one notices. While others are performing for approval, he's building for the long run. The Sigma male doesn't need the world to see his growth. He just needs to feel it. He needs to know he's becoming more honest, more focused, more aligned with his purpose. And because the world rarely rewards that kind of growth, he keeps it hidden. That hidden growth becomes the fuel for his public life. It sharpens his thinking, strengthens his actions, and stabilizes his presence. And the only way to maintain that level of transformation is to live two lives, one the world sees and one it never will. Reason number 4, external expectations versus internal truth. Everywhere you go, the world has expectations. It tells you how to act, what to chase, and what success should look like. But the Sigma male doesn't follow that script. He sees the difference between what people expect and what's actually true for him. And that difference becomes a major reason why he lives two separate lives. On the outside, he may do what's necessary. He may work the job, dress the part, and say just enough to keep things smooth. But that doesn't mean he agrees with it all. In his mind, he's always filtering, questioning, and choosing what to accept and what to reject. He knows that just because something is normal doesn't mean it's right for him. This creates a gap between appearance and reality. The Sigma male shows up when needed, but he doesn't lose himself in it. He knows how to carry himself in different settings, but he never becomes someone he's not. That balance requires awareness, and it demands a strong private life where he can be completely honest. The pressure to conform is real. People want him to explain himself, open up, or act like everyone else. But he won't. Not because he's rude, because he's loyal to his truth. He knows that the minute he starts performing for others, he loses connection with his own values. That's a price he won't pay. This internal truth guides his decisions. While others choose based on trends or popularity, the Sigma male moves with conviction. Even if no one agrees, he trusts his gut. Even if it takes longer, he stays the course. That kind of direction only comes from knowing yourself deeply and protecting that self in a world full of noise. His second life is where that protection happens. It's where he questions the system. It's where he listens to his own voice instead of the crowd. It's where he decides what's real and what's just a distraction. Without that space, it's easy to lose focus. Easy to start living someone else's story. The Sigma male refuses to play that game. He'll stay quiet, he'll step back, and he'll move in silence if that's what it takes to protect his truth. And if that means people misunderstand him, so be it. He'd rather be misunderstood and real than accepted and fake. This isn't rebellion for the sake of it. It's responsibility. Responsibility to stay aligned, grounded, and honest, even when the outside world keeps pulling in another direction. That's why the Sigma male splits his life into two parts. One for function, one for truth. Reason number 5. Leadership without spotlight versus solitude. With depth. Leadership often comes with attention. People expect leaders to stand in front, speak often, and take charge publicly. But that's not the kind of leadership the Sigma male practices. His leadership is quiet. It's steady. And it usually happens without anyone noticing. That's why he needs both a public life and a private one. In public, he may lead a team, a business, or a family. He may never call himself a leader, but people follow his example. They watch how he works, how he moves, how he stays calm when others fall apart. His influence comes from action, not words. From presence, not performance. But that leadership doesn't just appear. It's built in solitude. It's shaped during the hours no one sees. It comes from thinking deeply, reflecting often, and studying life with focus. This is why the second life matters so much. Without that private space, his leadership would be weak. It would be based on ego, not wisdom. He doesn't need praise to lead. He doesn't need a title. What he needs is depth. And he finds that depth when he's alone, not lonely, but alone with purpose. In that space, he checks himself. He asks hard questions. He admits when he's wrong. He adjusts his path. That's what real leaders do. They grow in silence before they lead in public. This kind of leadership confuses people. They're used to flashy, loud, attention-seeking energy. The Sigma male offers something different, quiet confidence. He doesn't force others to follow. He simply shows what's possible. That kind of energy attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. Solitude isn't a weakness. For the Sigma male, it's fuel. It gives him clarity. It restores his strength. It sharpens his thoughts. And when it's time to lead, he brings all of that power with him, not from the spotlight, but from the shadows. Living two lives allows him to carry that balance. One life for guiding others. One life for guiding himself. That's why his leadership feels different. It's not reactive. It's not fake. It's not based on pressure. It's real, because it comes from a place most people never go. Reason number 6. Legacy building versus present living. The Sigma male lives in the present, but he's always thinking ahead. He enjoys silence, simplicity, and staying grounded. But behind that calm presence is a mind that's building something long-term. He's not just here for the moment. He's here to leave a mark. And this mindset creates the final reason why he lives two lives. In daily life, he may not look like he's doing anything special. He might be working a regular job, keeping to himself, or living quietly. But in his mind, he's planning, creating, and thinking about what he wants to leave behind. This legacy might be a project, a vision, a mindset, or a way of life, something that continues after he's gone. Living for legacy means thinking differently. It means saying no to shortcuts. It means doing the right thing even when no one sees. That kind of thinking doesn't always fit into everyday life. So the Sigma male keeps it close. He carries it quietly. He works on it in his private life, piece by piece. This second life becomes the workshop where his future is built. He journals. He studies. He visualizes. He builds habits that shape who he becomes years from now. He knows that no legacy is built by accident. It's the result of long, focused, often unseen effort. In public, he stays present. He enjoys the moment. He doesn't stress or rush. But that's only possible because his private life is structured. He knows where he's going. He has a bigger plan. That plan gives him peace in the now and direction for the future. This balance keeps him grounded. He's not lost in the future, but he's not stuck in the present either. He honors today, but he's building for tomorrow. That's a rare mindset, and it's only possible when you live in two spaces at once. The Sigma male doesn't need fame to build a legacy. He just needs clarity, consistency, and time. He doesn't announce what he's building. He just builds. And when it's ready, it speaks for itself. Living two lives gives him the room to do both, live fully and build wisely. That's how real impact is made. Quiet, steady, focused. The Sigma male walks through life in a way most people will never understand. On the outside, he may look calm, quiet, maybe even simple. But underneath that calm surface is a second life, one built on thought, discipline, reflection, and vision. He doesn't live like everyone else because he's not wired like everyone else. He carries two lives with him at all times. One is public, for the world to see. The other is private, for himself and his mission alone. Together, those two lives create balance, power, and purpose. He does this not for attention, but for survival, for growth, for truth. It's how he protects his independence, how he maintains control, how he sharpens his leadership and plans for something greater than today. Every reason he lives this way comes from who he is, not just what he's doing. He separates from the crowd, thinks differently, leads without needing the spotlight, and stays true to what matters. He's not trying to impress. He's trying to stay aligned with the life he was built to live. If you've ever felt like you're walking two paths at once, one visible, one private, this message is for you. You're not broken. You're not hiding. You're designed that way. You're choosing silence over noise, depth over performance, legacy over trends. The Sigma male's life may not be loud, but it's powerful. And once you understand both sides of it, you see the truth, that this is not a double life. It's a full one, lived on purpose, driven by truth, and built to last.